Hey, friends, and welcome to another podcast brought to you by the Michigan Retailers Association. Today, we're going to Dimondale to talk to Lisa Gnass, and she is over at Wren, a brand new spot with an awesome story. Cannot wait to share it with you. As I said, our guest today on the podcast, Lisa Gnass. First of all, how are you? And let's talk business. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing great. Thank you.
That is awesome. So for people who may not recognize you, very quickly tell us what the business is and what it does.
I have a brand new retail store in Dimondale, Michigan, and we specialize in home decor and jewelry. On our home decor side of things, we have both vintage items and new items. And what we're really trying to do is show people how having both of those things, both older items that really bring in kind of a one of a kind element, some piece of history, some kind of warmth to a space can really kind of make your space much more personalized, much more interesting, and much more unique and personalized to you.
And so where did the idea come from, and kind of how did you start to build that idea into a retail space?
I actually have always been a huge fan of, this is going to sound a little dorky, but the old TV shows where you had these very, these homes that felt very layered and very established. And I was always looking at them, not just for the entertainment of the show, but also from a design point of view. I always was very into that kind of look and feel for interior design. So personally, that was something that I always was trying to do for myself. Well, I went into a career not related in any way to interior design, and I'm in corporate communications. But as time went on, it was always a hobby, always something I was very interested in, always something I tried to keep up on. So the pandemic hits, working from home, as a lot of us were. My youngest child went off to college. I was finding myself with a lot of free time now outside of my work hours. And I had come across on Instagram all of these vintage resellers. And I thought, that's something I could do. That's something that, would be kind of fun to do with this extra time. It would give me a chance to really get to be part of that world, really get to, I mean, one thing that's kind of cool about the vintage side of things is the amount of time you get to spend going and looking at these things. There's so much to learn. It's so much fun. It's so much fun to go, peek through vintage shops and antique shops. And throughout all these years, I'd see these incredible pieces that I think, this would be great in somebody's home. Maybe not for my own, but this would be really cool to have in somebody's house. But there's nothing, there's nothing I can do with it. So when I discovered that there is a whole world of vintage reselling that's online, I thought, well, that's what I'll do. So I started collecting those items. I started picking up things again that I didn't necessarily see in my own home, but perfect for different styles that are popular right now. And then I decided to move. My husband and I decided to move. So I thought, we were moving into a house that's a complete remodel job. So we weren't taking anything with us. So so that really kind of threw into a wrench into how this would go. So I thought, I'll find a space I can buy or rent so I can at least store the things. It would be a great place to photograph and stage items, and where I can package them up to get them out. And I ended up finding a place in downtown Dimondale, and that was, perfect for that, the perfect size. But then I thought, as long as I'm going to be there all the time, I might as well put an open sign up. and then I thought, well, if I'm doing that, I might as well make it look great. And if I'm doing that, I might as well buy, have new items as well, so that people can really see, have both of those things available to them in one space. So it literally went from, hey, I'm a little bored, maybe those candlesticks I saw at the store, I could sell those on Instagram, all the way to now I have a full-fledged retail location.
And so what's it been like, right? Because I've talked to a bunch of members of the Michigan Retailers Association, and they all have, the ups and downs going through COVID. A lot of them are different, but here you are, like in the middle of the hurricane going, I'm going to build my house and hope that the hurricane doesn't move in the middle. So it's like the peaceful, and obviously your energy is fun and lively. So what has it been? What were the holidays like, and what's this year like for you?
I'm still so new. So, I'm still kind of riding that wave of, oh, look at this new place. Let's go check it out. And I opened during the holidays, just actually, I think my first fully open day was, actually, that was the day of the Michigan State game. So I saw nobody walk in the door and nobody on the street for a solid 5 hours. And then the next day, I believe, was Halloween. And then we went straight into the holidays. And so it was fantastic. I mean, honestly, it was way better than I really thought it would be in those first few months. So then I think now I'm learning more about the retail world. Then you hit January and everybody is, staying inside and, not going out and, paying off their bills from the holidays. But it's been fine over the past few weeks. What this has really done for me was, all of the work it takes to get something up and running and all of that excitement, and then seeing what it really means to be open, and all of the behind the scenes stuff, and keeping it interesting, so as people come back, they see something new. I'm now hitting a point where I can start thinking about things that I wasn't even ready to do. Like literally it was, you start out I just got to put an open sign up. How do I make it perfect for that? And now I can start thinking about some other things. And so for this year, what I'm really hoping is to get an online presence, even though this was supposed to be an Instagram business, it's not at all at this point. So being able to get a website up and going where I can sell through the website, sell online, is my top priority, along with getting some employees. Because as of right now, it's just me, and I really need to get some people in there.
People don't tend to understand that, like, when you're a small business, you can't scale Lisa to be multiple Lisas, right? Like you need another person to come in and do that stuff. So, I know you're 90 days into the kind of the first go around with this, but given your understanding of design and kind of where you came from, and looking at that layered approach and comparing that to, the modern house where most people don't have an aesthetic, right? They struggle to figure out how to make those spaces feel warm, or they feel overly warm because they've just put a bunch of stuff in it. Like, what's a way for people to think about 2022 as we're entering, right, the third year of doing this? A lot of us are still working from home, or some hybrid situations. So we're in these spaces. I mean, obviously mine is something, right? I don't know what your take would be on that, but that's not here nor there. But like, how can people think about their spaces and, reach out to you and maybe find those pieces, or even begin to understand that it starts with a single piece and kind of radiates out?
Yeah, no, I think that's a good place to start, is exactly that. So I think, if somebody's just starting brand new from it, sometimes maybe they haven't put a lot of thought into it or always wanted to, or maybe they love interior design, don't really know what to do with it. I think a good place to start with it is getting rid of the stuff you don't really like. I mean, we've talked about that a lot over the last decade or so, where these, home edit kinds of things, people, going through their homes, getting rid of things that don't do anything for them. That's really a great place to start. And then it's not trying to do everything at once. As much as I think we're surrounded by images of rooms and homes, whether it's on TV shows or Pinterest or wherever, that are completely done, don't worry about that. Try to do it slowly. That way you're really enjoying the process of picking up things that mean something to you. If you just go to somebody and they make your area look, your space look beautiful, that's a great thing, but it's going to end up being work for you to keep it up anyways. So, think about it as a process, and know that, what you do today, you might not love in 5 years, and that's totally fine. But, really starting with, a single piece that means something to you, and getting rid of the things that just either you don't love, that have no meaning for you whatsoever, or you're not using. Those are the best places to start, definitely. And getting rid, if you're getting just started, get rid of stuff. If there's something raggedy that you don't really, love anymore, that's just in your way, you just use it because it's still working for you. But, start with freshening up your towels, something like that, just so that you've got things that that you don't hate using. It's really not about, you need thousands of dollars today to suddenly make everything look right. Just little steps towards it is just fine.
So the last question I'm going to leave you with, because again, you're unique to the interviews that I've done for the MRA in that you're brand new. And so can you maybe give us kind of, a top level view of how the Michigan Retailers Association has helped you through this, right? You launch, and day one, everyone on planet Earth is watching a football game, but then you get going after that. And how have they helped you kind of understand the space and growing from, I have a lot of time, to let's try this on Instagram, to let's put things in a retail location, to let's do a retail location?
Yeah, I have really enjoyed my time so far talking with people at the MRA. It has been, they've been so warm and helpful and, fun to interact with. I had reached out and they immediately got back with me. I've had a couple of conversations with a couple of different people where we've had pretty deep conversations about, where am I at now? What do I need next? And, one of those things is I really need friends in this space, people I can learn from, people that I can interact with so that I can, learn anything I can from them, be a sponge and suck in, all of their knowledge into me if they're willing to give it. And they are more than willing to help with that. And, one thing I have enjoyed so far is the fact that they have, they've been very purposeful and asked me, what do I need? What am I hoping to get out of this? And then coming back to solution, with solutions for me, which is fantastic, rather than just saying, hey, this is what we do. If you want it, good. If you don't, it hasn't been like that at all. It's been the complete opposite. It's been a very personalized experience, and I have really appreciated it. It's been great.
That's awesome. So Lisa, if people want to reach out to you, they want to experience the store, they want to talk to you, they want to maybe find that piece, what is the easiest way for them to do that?
Well, a couple ways. One is come to our store, come to Dimondale. The store is called Wren. Open on the weekends, open weekday evenings. Right now, until I get more employees, we can't be open as much as I'd like to be. But come to town, there's a brewery across the street, there's a diner down the street that have great food, make a day of it. Come in, we can chat. On the other side, I'm always available through social media, so Facebook or Instagram, and I'm at Wren Finds at both those places.
Lisa, thank you so much for the time. Good luck, and I can't wait to catch up with you at the end of this year and see where you are.
Thank you.